Hello and welcome back to This or That with Kobe and Dash. Week 1 under wraps. We're moving on, baby.
Damn right, damn right. I will point out we had some very creative people respond on Twitter with some ideas for taglines here. So I'll throw out a few of my favorite.
Okay.
This or Thatterson with Kobe and Patterson, or Kensler and Patterson. That one's good. Yay or nay with Dash and Kobe.
See, that one I did like. I like
right?
that one.
I like that one as well. Just a couple ideas to float out there, but
we'll keep brewing on it. Let's get into slide number 1 for this episode. Who will win, Team Liquid or Evil Geniuses?
Oh, this is actually such a tough call based on their week 1 performances. I'm going with that. I'm going with that because of confidence in spring split performance from Evil Geniuses, and then kind of the fire that they seem to have come out the gate here with in summer. I'm specifically looking at Jizuke and Svenskeren looking like they're firing on all cylinders, and people like Kumo not feeling like as big of question marks as they were in spring, allowing people like Bang and Jizuke to shine as carries.
I actually am also going with EG. I am going with that. I did a little write-up on draft analysis just from the first week from Team Liquid and some trends, and that I'm going to put out on social media to try and get some written stuff out there. And it all points to Team Liquid with a very similar style that we're used to from them, where they had a lot more weight back, let some opponents' mistakes emerge, scale up a bit more, and win a bit later. EG, I think they've been very good over this year of making an attack, right? Having a either 1-3-1 split push with Jizuke, some sort of offensive game plan. I think that might put a lot of pressure on Team Liquid before they are ready for it. So let's get on to slide number 2.
Sorry, Jat.
Still rooting for you though, buddy.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's nothing to say that he won't make changes going into week 2.
Right.
So is solo queue valuable as practice? Licorice actually gave an interview where he talked about he puts a lot of effort into playing 1v1s in the top lane and going in the practice tool rather than playing as much solo queue, because everyone complains about the North American solo queue state.
Yeah, where do you land on this?
For me, I do think there are some things that are valuable. There's a lot of putting yourself in these situations and being able to react and having the muscle memory there. However, there's not a lot that is as applicable to pro play, especially given some of the complaints that they have about our specific solo queue, where you play a lot of matchups that you're never going to play in the LCS, right? I mean, the Teemo top mains that are just going to be spamming Ignite Teemo top. Is Licorice going to get a lot of value out of that big part of the game? So maybe the 5-on-5 later around Baron Dance or something, there's some sort of thing you can actually take, but a large chunk of it is not going to be applicable to pro play. And that's what he's talking about, not being as efficient. Whereas his targeted practice that he can set up with his academy top laner or whatever might be more efficient.
I feel it's hard to say that one of the best players in the league is wrong in his assessment of how to get better at League of Legends. And so that's where I'll agree. I'm going to agree with Licorice. I think there's no substitute for focused practice and practice that specifically attacks something or a situation that you would find on the stage. There is value in solo queue. This is not to say that solo queue is invaluable. There is value in the unknown or in figuring out, the pun of invaluable. There is value in running up against one of those picks, or a patch changes over and some solo queue star opens your mind to something that could make or break you in the LCS. But at the end of the day, you still have to go through the steps and the processes to actually determine whether or not those things are playable on the LCS.
So what are you choosing?
I'm going with that. I'm going with Licorice. Solo queue is not as valuable as straight up practice.
Right. I am going with this because there is value in solo queue practice. And that's what the slide is asking.
Oh, is it valuable as practice? I was doing it. Is it as valuable as practice? I was putting the extra as in there. Oh, crap. Well, I baited myself. You know what? I'm sticking with it. I'm going with that.
Because like you, I agree with a lot of the things that he said and a lot of the points about how
Yeah.
efficient practice and matchups and stuff are useful. There are also valuable things in solo queue. You shouldn't do only one or the other. Next
It's
slide.
true.
What is better? Exploring with Cat, the Ezreal Yuumi combo, one of the most popular bottom lane duos, or the Olaf with the Cat, pillaging with the Cat. One of my favorites. Obviously, I'm jungler. You're a jungler too. We love that one. But
Impossible
what is
slide for Kobe,
actually
though.
better?
Impossible slide for Kobe. Both involve a cat. He's split down the middle. He cannot decide. No, I'm going to go. What's better? I'm going to go with Olaf. And the primary reason I'm going to go with Olaf is for things like Blabber's aggressive play style. And the way that it enables a character like Olaf to take over the game from the beginning. So I feel like there's a more holistic, like from second 0 to game end, Olaf and Yuumi have power at all moments. There is obviously power in Ezreal's mobility and then the chase potential late game with him having a Yuumi, but I feel like you have to get there. And there is still abuse that can be received in the early portions of the game. Olaf kind of alleviates some of that. I'm going with that.
It breaks my heart to do this, but I have to choose this. I have to go with the Ezreal Yuumi, because as much as I love playing Olaf, charging through, going berserk with a Yuumi on my back, I just came out of doing VOD reviews of the LPL, and watching Jackie Love on Ezreal with the Yuumi just absolutely 1v9 this game. It's just the mobility that you mentioned with Ezreal, where he can jump forward, has the extra projectiles, the poke that comes through. He chases. There's one scene where Jackie Love is chasing off 4 members of the enemy team with just him and this Yuumi through the jungle, over walls and stuff. And I'm like, Olaf cannot jump over the walls. I mean, I love the berserk with the ultimate, but Ezreal I just feel has more uptime and more poke value. So it breaks my heart, but I got to do it. Going with this.
That's a good point.
We disagree again. This is
best region in the world, though. Yeah, we're butting heads a little bit, but I like it. All right, up next, which feels worse? Demonte not starting in spring, but getting a starting spot here in summer, or Xmithie not starting in summer?
These both feel pretty bad.
They're both bad.
My initial reaction, and I'll just go with my gut reaction as soon as I read them, was the Demonte one.
Okay.
Because Demonte came out and absolutely smashed. Like, he looks so good. He looks like he's done a lot of good for Golden Guardians as a whole. So I feel like these two together, when you see a couple get together and both of them are better for it, you just got to be happy. The Xmithie one, his academy games were plus and minus, and Immortals as a whole, I feel like there are deeper problems that are not just they bench Xmithie and something. Obviously, it feels bad to have him in academy, but I feel like there are a lot of issues there. Whereas the Demonte one, I'm just like, you know what? It's nice to see. Plus, he got to beat his old team, Dignitas, flashing the emotes.
Yeah, but see, that makes me feel better about it because he's starting now. So there's at least a little bit of vindication. And so I think for me, the hindsight is what makes Demonte's situation actually not feel as bad. I think it highlights that it was a mistake that he didn't get a starting spot in spring, but I don't feel so bad because he's got a shot now. Whereas you have a 6-time LCS champion sitting on a bench. Whatever team this guy joins normally makes it to the postseason and the finals at the very least. I understand that didn't happen for Immortals last split, but come on. You're telling me that one of the best junglers in the history of the league doesn't deserve a top 10 starting spot? He's better than some of the junglers out there. And so I think that the context of Xmithie's history is what makes it feel more egregious to me. And I feel vindicated for Demonte that he's smashing kids now. I'm going with that.
We're kind of in like the happy ending of the first slide.
Right. We got through all the bad for Demonte.
All right, next slide. What do we got? Favorite quest? Is it the sea quest or the tree quest? That's rough. You're choosing between two positive environmental quests here. Like, what?
First of all, what a way to make us look bad, right? One of us, we gotta decide which environment we hate more. There's no good answer here. But here, okay, Okay, here's my answer. I'm going to go with that, Tree Quest, and the reason being because it was the first, and it was the beginnings of what is an incredible environmental movement from this team. It marked the beginning of their rebrand as well, which I think was really important. So beyond just the quest itself, I think Tree Quest was kind of the initiative that really kind of born what is the FlyQuest org now in their current brand. Sequest to follow. I love the C, but we got to go with what came first.
Yeah. All right. Well, in order to balance the show so that we cover all bases,
yes,
I'm definitely going with Sequest here. Obviously, there are so many problems with our oceans.
Yes.
And I also like how they have been able to incorporate the cute turtles into it and having like wild turtle pop up everywhere in their ads.
The branding around it has gotten better. The little animated shorts and stuff, they're getting better on that front. So I'll give that to Sequest.
And I like that they're kind of, spreading it around so that it's not just kind of, one and done or like isolate this one problem. We have a lot of issues to look at. So, you know, props to them. Next slide.
Exactly. Overall, we don't want to choose on that one.
Who will have a better KDA, the split tactical or double lift? Double lift starting out 1-1. Currently, I haven't looked at the numbers. I just assume he's got a worse KDA because tactical with the 2-0 there. They did have a rough start in their game versus Golden Guardians for Team Liquid, though.
Right. But Tactical was deathless in his first game. He was 7-0-6, I believe, was his scoreline. So even if he did pick up a couple deaths, you're probably right in assuming that his KDA is higher than Double Lift's currently. And I'm going to stick with Tactical. And this might seem a little wild to some people that I'm going to go with this. And the reason I'm going with this, though, is because of the style and the type of player here. I think that Tactical isn't going to have to do as much, in a sense, to be successful on Team Liquid. We've already kind of seen that perhaps Team Liquid is leaning towards a Broxa, Jensen-focused kind of game plan, and Tactical might just go along for the ride. He's a really solid AD carry, but I think he's going to get protected and shielded a little bit there, where Double Lift might be the focus more often and might suffer for it in the KDA department.
And we have already seen Team Liquid, at least in week 1, they showed a very 5-on-5, more scaling oriented style of protection for their AD carry. So I like where you're going with that. Plus the benefits of us doing this online from home. I was able to look up the KDA. Currently, Tactical giant lead over every other AD carry. He only has 1 death. So he has a total 22 KDA. And we can go with him because he's got the head start there. Double Lift has some catching up to do.
Exactly. I like it. Go with the runner who's already winning the race.
Would you swipe right on support who roams with you? Hell yes. Or a jungler that wants to gank your lane?
I'll swipe right on. I'm gonna swipe right on both.
Yeah,
those both sound like really positive relationships. But if I have to,
like one of the pay to win things where you have to pay for every extra swipe. You only get limited numbers.
Oh yeah, it's like that VIP swipe or whatever the heck it would be. I'm not really sure there. I'm gonna go with the support who roams with you, primarily because it focuses on the role that I want to play more often as a jungler. I love a support who's willing to get out of the lane, come help me mid, or drop wards in the jungle and really take advantage of somebody else. Whereas as a laner, I think one of the things that I kind of rely on, or I can at least rest my hat on, is the idea that I should be able to lane without jungler attention. So when I lane, that's at least the way I approach it. I try and figure out how can I lane without needing my jungler to gank.
I like it. I think that's a good philosophy to try and spread around the league community, James. And also remember, if your jungler is ganking your lane, then there are other areas of the map that are left unattended. So
that's a very good point.
I'm going to agree with you. I will go with this. We're in agreement. I'm pretty sure that's the last slide.
Sick.
Let's check Yep, we're done here. Week 2 is in the books. Please be sure to join in on Friday for the LCS. We're going to be right back.